Pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Oilers. This fielded right at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU and Zach Wilson.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
5 yards on the game's first play, second down. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence. All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. Shreds the tackle. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a handoff, Sermon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They give to Sermon out of the gun. Sermon with space, a first down and then some. And down to the 28-yard line. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. The numbers for Njoku from a week ago: 7 catches, 51 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. On 2nd down, it's Sermon. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line as this game gets started.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Trey Sermon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was Trey Sermon who polished it all off with a touchdown run. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson. They start it on the ground with Eckler. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Dexter Lawrence in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th. Watson. They'll roll him out right. He's letting this one go for Fuller, and that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 82 yards. And the Oilers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Extra point try, good by Gano. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
His first carry in their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. These two teams all tied after one. Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. On the handoff, Sermon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the 1st half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
And he gets this to the 30. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards remain on 2nd down. On the option to give to Sermon here. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 and the 34. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now Wilson. They set up the screen for Sermon. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. The kick by Elliott is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and have just enough to get it done.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
You know, are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
Gosh, when you've got Deshaun Watson, Charles, executing a run-pass option, puts the defense in a tough spot, does it not?
It does, and what I liked is that you called me this week, watching your own video, your own tape, and you said, I think the runner's going to pop a few this week because of what we've seen from Deshaun Watson. His ability to get to the corner, that's where the focus will go.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and it's picked up by the Eagles.
Well, let's be frank, you hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards it.
They'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Here's Sermon. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Second down and goal. Wilson. Drops this off to Richard. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. The kick by Elliott is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they had to give up the field goal, and they were able to try back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step, because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Throwing again is Watson. Here's Fuller with a catch. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Mack's got the first down and then some. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. 18 yards on each of the last 2 plays, and they're picking up big chunks now. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's a quick throw to Thielen. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now a first down throw. Watson got his man complete over the middle. It's Fuller, and he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. The final shot before the break. Watson flush to his right. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there as time expires in the first half. And the Oilers are an extra point away now from moving out in front. Gano the extra point, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and it's the Jets who are out in front as that game's gone to the intermission. Christian McCaffrey potentially on his way to a giant afternoon. He has 3 touchdown runs in that first half. From there, it's...
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of run there. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half, they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing a point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
To throw is Watson. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, Eckler. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here is Eckler. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's Mack to get it again on second down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Running on first down, Eckler. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll try the air now with Watson. They'll run the screen with Mack. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Oilers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And man, Charles, talk about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is up to 8. So that one, a 13-play drive in total. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now Wilson on first down. Open man right side, Myers. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On first down, Wilson. It's a screen to Richard. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. Throwing again here, Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Wilson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They'll run for it. Sermon. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And that... much needed first down right there. And look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
A.J. Boye up to make the tackle. Second down at 5. Now it's Wilson. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a... Great time for their first pick, but instead it's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Wilson. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Throwing is Wilson. Touchdown! David Njoku. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles Eagles have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. Wilson going to throw for it. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. And what do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 56 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Watson now to throw. That's into the hands of Eckler. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Draw play, it's Eckler. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. And I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and making an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and the people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the home team here, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.